Should you ditch him? Should you continue to date him if you are in that situation? Like, you think you like this guy and you're not really sure, like, is this such a big red flag that I should just move on? Hit us up. We throw your situation out to Bert Show fam around the country, and we'll let you know if you should ditch him or date him. So you hit us up at thebertshow.com. Davi's got the email.
So the strangest thing happened to me in this new relationship, and I'm really just a bit stunned and not sure if this is a major red flag or actually something that could be a bit of a relief. At first, I was annoyed and really offended, and then I became kind of confused, and now I still feel that way, but logic is kicking in, and I'm thinking it might not be such a bad thing. I don't know. I keep going back and forth. I could really use y'all's opinions. So I just started dating Brad in September. Obviously, it hasn't been very long. However, even though we haven't had the official talk, I'm pretty certain that neither of us are seeing other people. I mean, I know I'm not, and I haven't had much of a desire to either. We're also together multiple times a week, so from my perspective, things are a bit serious. Well, the other day was Brad's birthday. We went out to dinner to celebrate. When we were at dinner, I handed him a gift. He handed it right back to me and literally said, "No, thank you." My response was, "Huh? It's your birthday gift." He went on to tell me that he doesn't do gifts. I was really confused, and I wasn't sure what that meant. I mean, who doesn't do gifts? He said that he doesn't accept gifts because he doesn't plan to give gifts. He doesn't do gifts in any relationship that he's in. He doesn't do gifts for friends, for family, etc. He said that gifts are often more stressful for the giver, and they're enjoyed by the receiver more. He said he finds the expectation of giving a gift that is of similar financial and sentimental value of the last gift you received very stressful, and it takes any meaning out of the gift giving. He said the situation is worse for the first person in a relationship to give the gift. Then you have to worry about if the financial and sentimental value is too high or too low. Somehow you have to strike this perfect balance, which is also somehow dictated by the length and the seriousness of the relationship. He said if he started with birthday gifts, then we are expected to exchange Christmas gifts. Then we will both be stressed out by having to read the other person's mind or predict what type of gift they want to get, so that the other person matches in value. So he says he wants to be in a no-gift situation with me. He says they'll celebrate birthdays, holidays, etc. by dinners or mutually decided upon experiences, but no gifts. I don't fully disagree with him, but I also don't know that I like the idea of someone just declaring there will be no gifts. What do you think? Is this some kind of weird red flag, or would you be cool with it?
1-855-BERT Show. It's almost as you were reading off the words, I could hear George Costanza saying them from Seinfeld. Just overthought it over and over and over again.
I just started watching that on Netflix because the only episode I've ever seen was the final episode.
Oh, really?
That everybody hated. So now I'm like learning about George, and he would absolutely say that. But then he would lose you somewhere. This guy kind of won me over towards the end there. But saying experiences, saying we will celebrate things and dinners and experiences, I kind of appreciate that because gift giving, it is stressful.
What do you think?
I'm not completely mad at him. I mean, I think it's obviously a little different. I don't know if I would go as far as to say I don't want to do gifts at all, but I've certainly been in relationships where it became stressful to me because she was so much better of a gift giver than I was, and I used to feel guilty like every time. But I don't know that I would just cancel the gifts, but at the end of the day, if this is what he wants and that's his love language, then she may not agree with it, but if you want to be with him, you got to find a way to deal with it.
Can't there be some kind of compromise here? Like, okay, I understand that you don't like to give gifts, but why don't you set up our experiences while I continue to show you that I care with gifts rather than him like mandating it for our relationship?
I don't know. It just seems lazy to me. He doesn't want to put in an effort to like think about the person. Like, you know, yes, gift giving can be stressful, but his whole blanket, I don't do gifts. Heaven forbid you get to know a person and put a little effort into finding out more about them and wanting to get them something to make them happy. And also, it is a two-way street, like the gift giving. Like it's for her and it's for him. And I don't know. I obviously, my love language is sentimental gifts, like giving them. And so for somebody to tell me that, I'd be like, nah, man, this isn't going to work out for us.
But conversely, you could say the same thing about planning a trip together. Like, you have to take the other person into consideration.
Yeah.
You would go where they want. So that's just his way of giving a gift. You're saying
No, I'm all, and that's what my husband and I do. We don't do Christmas gifts and we don't do birthday gifts. We always planned like a special trip together at the end of the year and did something. There were other gifts throughout the year, and we just did the Mother's Day, Father's Day stuff. So personally, this wouldn't fly. I ain't into it.
I would love it. I would love it.
I think you would accept that first gift probably and be like, this is very nice, thank you, but going forward. Like, I feel like you have to accept a gift to be polite.
Yeah.
And then you can say, here's my theory.
Yeah.
Let's brainstorm this for a minute. Are you cool with not giving gifts? Because I tried to be that person once, and a girl gave me a corset that she made for me, and I gave it back and was like, I don't do gifts. It still keeps me up at night. I swear, like,
Really?
sometimes I wake up in a cold sweat at like 3:30 a.m. and I'm like, oh my God, I'm so sorry, Jessica.
Hey, Alina, good morning. You're on the Bert Show.
Hey, good morning.
Good morning. All right, so you're in a relationship where you guys don't see eye to eye on the gift thing?
So my husband doesn't do gifts either. He will always give me some kind of like jewelry or present, but it's always like 2 weeks before Christmas or before my birthday, because he doesn't like to give things like out of obligation on a set day. So he will just do things weeks early and just call it a random gift.
I like
So
that.
he's kind of like just tricking himself. Okay, it's
Yeah.
a gift, but it's not when the world is telling me to give it to you.
There is a weird thing with a lot of guys that are like, I will not have Cupid telling me what day to get you flowers. Like they do it a
Right.
week before,
Right.
so they're not a slave to a calendar.
Tiffany and I had this dance too for the first couple of years because I refused to believe it. Like I was getting her jewelry and I was going out and getting her clothes or shoes or whatever. And she's like, listen to what I am telling you. I don't want that. I want $100 to QT. I'm like, okay, that's it. She wants practical gifts, man. So
That's our love language.
all right, easy enough.
The Bert Show.